What's happening? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Going live as I like to do almost daily. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, as all of us YouTubers say. Make sure you subscribe, but most importantly, make sure you watch. Because you can subscribe, but if you ain't watching the content, you're missing the point. You got to tune in to get the information, to get the edutainment that we provide. Give you a little back history real quick before I get into my thoughts today. ONYXCON is a 501c3 nonprofit arts and creative lifestyle organization. When we say arts, we especially mean the popular arts. What are the popular arts? Popular arts consist of many things, but for the short list of the things that most interest us and what we tend to cover is we started as a Comic-Con, thus the name ONYXCON. CON was especially for it being a convention at the time. But CON, the root word of it, it just means to come together. Whenever you see the word con, convention, con, come together. All right? So, community organized event is what it was. And we did it for over a decade. I'm very proud of that because in the Southeast United States, we are and remain, we still holding the belt, we still got the title, we are the longest running, the absolute longest running popular arts specific to cultural dynamics. Okay, we support it and were supported and forever will be supported in a predominantly black community, but we were open to everybody. It was a multi-ethnic convention, multi everything. Everybody came through the doors of ONYXCON when we were doing the event. We had a good time with everybody. We didn't care where you were from, who you were. If you got respect, because that's the word around here, it goes respect, power, money. Respect first, then power, then money, then resources. Hell, just talking about money. Resources. I would get into my breakdown of that, but I don't feel like it today. I done said it in too many other videos. Go back and watch something. Like I said, don't just subscribe, watch some content, okay? Respect, always first. Some people have no way of understanding how to deal with respect because they didn't grow up in respect, they don't have respect, they don't know respect. And their definition of respect is twisted and jaded and all that kind of stuff because they don't come from respectful origins. And that's today's main topic, actually. How people will constantly struggle with defining respect, because if you don't really have a great example of what that is, if you don't have a functional, you notice I ain't said good or bad yet. Around here, we speak a different discipline. We speak the truth, you know. Some folk play with it, try to use it to their own means, make it political, all this other nonsense, and start saying stuff, trying to take something black folk came up with decades ago and make it something else. Try to discredit the author, make it something else, try to say that woke is not, see, people using woke left and right and don't even know what the hell it means. Don't even know what the hell it means. You got people who are on racist agendas using the word woke, like anything that's against my racist agenda is woke. Anything that's against my sexist agenda is woke. Who is that talking? Anything that's against logic and balance and decency in the world, it's got to be woke. What? Did you hear that? Somebody slapped that fool in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a mess. Let me get that out the way now. See, I like to do a little troll guard, a little spray for the trolls. Put a little pesticide down for them real quick. See, look at that. Then the number started. I love to watch my number go up and down. It started at 22. Now we at 9. Thanks for the 1 thumbs up. That's all I ever need. I only need, it could be 100 people. If one of them hear me for real, that's about right. That's the usual numbers of consciousness in the world today. In a world of billions, you might get 1 out of 100 that understand what the hell time it is. Ain't worried about nobody else. Quality before quantity, respect first, always. That's the ONYXCON way. So, I was watching something, and if you know, we support the functional, not dysfunctional, functional sides of hip-hop. Now, hip-hop is more than music. It's cultures, We don't say over here for the culture. No, we say for the cultures, plural. And we got 2 thumbs up. All right, we got some more folk in the house. They understand what time it is. Thank you. Much respect. Okay? And when you're talking about hip-hop cultures with a Z or with an S, I created this phrase. I'm claiming it because ain't nobody else using it the way I'm using it. And I don't see nobody else hashtagging it more than I have. I'm claiming that. When it gets popular, because you know how things go in popular culture, things get popular and people don't give no credit to the author. They try to act like didn't nobody else, you know, I did this and I didn't. No, you didn't. No, you damn didn't. Started right here. Started right here. For the cultures. I like to spell it with a Z. So you know I'm talking hip hop, because that's what we do in hip hop. Some of us. For the cultures. Some folk might not know what I'm talking about when I say with a Z. They don't understand that. They don't know about that. It's okay. It's not. Everything ain't for everybody. It never was meant to be that way. We all supposed to. It should be some mysteries. That's what makes life interesting. You got something to look at. You got something to research. You got something to know more about. You got to read. You got to dig deeper than surface. You understand? Class is in session. Professor Silver Fox. That's me. All right, let's go. So I was watching this somebody's vlog. I say somebody not to be disrespectful. I just don't. I watch so much stuff on YouTube. If I don't already know your channel well, it's not going to even be in my. I just don't even stress myself out to remember until it's been. If you keep doing quality stuff and I notice it and I follow your channel, I'm gonna put your name to memory, because I can see that you got something to say and it's gonna be worth hearing every time I hear you say something. I'm gonna like your content, so I'll listen and I'll check you out. Yeah. Shout out to Jay Coop's Corner. That's one of the recent folks who made a good impression on me, who does travel vlogs. Young brother, 30-something years old, living abroad. I think he lives in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. He doing the damn thing. He living the life. Shout out to Jay Coop. He don't even know me. He don't even know I'm shouting him out right now, maybe. I've been in his comments, but I know how it is. People get a certain number of thousands. They may not even read all that stuff. I don't even worry about that. It's about positive energy. It's about sharing frequency. If you impressed something upon my soul, my life, made me think about something, showed me something I always knew was true. Like the first video I ever watched by him, he was in Zanzibar. And I said, oh my gosh. I always knew it was beautiful. His video reaffirmed my already affirmation. Like, that place is heaven. I gotta go. I got to go. You understand? It's part of Tanzania. It's off the coast. It's an island, Zanzibar. If you never heard of it, look it up. I don't assume that everybody knows everything. I speak to my people. So if it feels like I'm talking like, man, everybody no, that's not true. Everybody doesn't know everything that you know. So if you already knew, good for you. If you didn't know, welcome to knowledge. That's what we're here to do. Edutainment. Right. So I was looking to get to I don't know. I go on tangents here. So stay with me. If you can ride the wave, otherwise fall in the ocean and get hit by the sharks. All right, listen. So back to what I was really saying. I was talking about, I was watching a vlog. There's a guy, I do know he was out of Houston, whoever he is, because he had an intro. He was shouting out Houston. So what's up, Houston? What's up, Texas? And he went to LA for the TDE pop-out concert. They have a concert that they've been doing for years, actually. It's nothing new, quite frankly, but it's gotten popular enough that now, if you didn't know about it, like, honestly, I didn't know. I knew that they did things like this. I didn't know that they had specifically been doing one for Christmas time for, I think they said, damn, did they say 17 years? Something really crazy. It's been going on for a minute. It's been going on for a minute, probably since in the inception of TDE. And if you don't know what TDE is, that's Top Dog Entertainment. That's Kendrick Lamar's original label. He now has his own label with his work partner, good childhood friend, damn, I don't want to say the name right. Dave East. Him and Dave East started PG Lane production company, where they're doing everything from film, music, of course, merch, everything, right? Pretty much what TDE been doing, but they doing their own thing, but they still family. And I love that it's like that, instead of, all right, I graduated, ain't got no respect for that, ain't talking about that no more, or some ugly fallout. They still family. I love to see that with black-owned businesses doing it like that. That's what time it is. So TDE still has a presence when they do their thing in LA, and they do this thing, like I said, called the Pop Out concert. If you look it up, it's real easy to find. It's all, everybody's talking about it because it just happened a few days ago. Like I said, it's a fundraiser, quite frankly. I looked up what tickets might cost. I could never find an article that specified the cost for this one. I'm not even sure if there were. I know that you had to bring a toy, unwrapped toy, for a toy drive to get in. And I saw a video of people going through the metal detector gates. So they did have tight security, which is very good to know, because where they held this was in Nickerson Gardens Projects. Okay? This is straight up in the hood in Watts. Watts, LA, California. If you don't know about Watts, you don't understand what I'm really saying. Watts is a straight up hood. It has been, you know, a neighborhood plagued by gang violence and drugs and disparities of poverty and oppression for years. Quite frankly, since especially the 60s. And after what they called the Watts riots, which was a reaction to the assassination of Dr. King, and then there were other, just there have been a number of things to hurt Watts in that regard. Of course, the Rodney King riots that took place all over South Central LA, all that stuff has had a drastic effect on that area. But before any of those bombs hit, it was just, this is the result of white supremacy in this country and gatekeeping and people being held back and held down and all of that. So Watts has had some issues, just like here in Atlanta in certain neighborhoods. It's everywhere, every major city, everywhere in the world. This is the stuff of pecking order and poverty and have and have-nots, right? But they did a concert in Nickerson Gardens, which, this is closed now, but if you knew what they used to call Cabrini Green in Chicago, if they just did a concert in the middle of Cabrini Green, that's what this was like saying they did something in. It baffled me that they even do this, the way they do this. And like I say, I don't know what kind of security they must have had, but they obviously done paid off every police department in the area to come help everybody get in and get out relatively safe. Hopefully nothing ever happened. And it seemed like, I saw people leaving at the very end of the concert, and it seemed like it might just be a, hey, come see and go type of thing, no drama, which is good to know. Because this thing went into the nighttime. It started, it looked like late afternoon or something, and it was nighttime when it ended, okay? So everybody seemed to have a good time. Most of the crowd, because I love the fact that the vlogger turned his camera around where you could actually see the audience at different times during the daytime and even at night, but especially in the day where you could really make out who you're looking at. And I know enough about Los Angeles from having friends and family out there. It's like a second home to me in some ways. ATL forever, of course. Atlanta, Georgia's home first and foremost, but I got friends and family in LA enough to know enough about LA. I've been to Watts. I went to the Watts Towers one time. That's what I wanted to see in Watts. Wasn't much else that I really wanted to hang around and see. Went with some family at the time that are from LA, so we knew how to move, what time to move. It was no drama. It was literally it was a nostalgic day to see something that's an art monument that people come from all over the world to see. And if I remember right, I believe the artist's ethnicity is Italian, the gentleman who made the Watts Towers originally. But he took found objects and with cement and all, like I say, found objects, like everything from bits of glass and toys and strange objects found out, just stuff, literally. Made these huge wire and like I say, other elements, but concrete and other stuff, monuments that have become like probably the most well-known public art display in Watts for the city of Watts. So like I said, I've been there, I've been to the Watts Towers, I've seen it, stood there with my own eyes and saw it. So it's not like I'm just somebody talking about what it is and I don't know nothing about what it is, or talking about what the oppression of somebody else in a different area looks like, and I've never seen it with my own two eyes. No, I saw it. I've been there. I've walked on the soil. Went into the community center, the art center that's part of the center, spoke with people who work there about what it's like and everything. All that, done that, Took photos in front of it, all the good, everything. So it's just interesting though to see in 2024, almost 2025, that people could feel comfortable enough not from that community to come in that community and see a concert for a good cause. I want to make it clear I understand it's for a good cause. I love what they're doing. I love that TDE is giving kids toys at Christmas time and things of that nature. Is always a good thing. Always a good thing. My issue for what I witnessed was this though. What makes it strange to watch this was, and it's not an isolated event for what I'm really about to have critique of. But I want to make it clear before I begin, I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I'm a fan of SZA. I'm a fan of some of the music of Soul Burger, aka Ab Soul, who just had a new album come out. If you ain't heard it, Ab got a new album called Soul Burger. And it's pretty damn good. It's got a lot of tracks on it that I like. All right. And I've been a fan of Kendrick, and for most of his discography, I love most all of his music, even the stuff I don't listen to as much. I respect and appreciate it because I know some stuff just ain't for me. It's not for someone of my mind state, my experiences, my artistic caliber. It's just a different ear. I've seen different things. I've heard other things. I've just been exposed to a lot, so it's different for me. You know, from high to low frequency, it's different for me. And I'm older. Okay, I'm damn near as old as hip hop. I like to say these days. You know, when it hit me when I realized, I mean, they say 50 years of hip hop. They celebrating the anniversary of hip hop. Oh, wow. I'm damn near as old as hip hop. Like, shit. So when you get in my ripe, wonderful age and still looking as debonair as I do, thank you, ladies, certified, you know, you just move differently. I've always moved differently, but then you just get real comfortable in your step. Like, I ain't apologizing. I'm gonna be me. You like it or you love it. Love it or leave it alone. That's just where you're at, right? And I've taught in environments like Nickerson's Gardens in Atlanta, Georgia. I've taught art, okay? Visual art. I'm a visual artist too. I've worked in Section 8 apartments in Atlanta, Georgia. That's the equivalent of a Nickerson Gardens in LA, in Watts, right? I worked in Boat Rock. I worked in Red Oak, okay? Teaching youth arts. I taught seniors for years in art programs at various art centers. I mean, not even art centers, community centers, but they had art classes, and I taught. Okay. I've worked in some of the worst hoods in Atlanta. I used to work at one. I can't even remember the name of that center, but the place was so deep in it. You got out your car, and across the street there was a car wash that was abandoned, and the dope fiends and the dealers would be just hanging out over there. But this was right across from this senior center that was gated and protected. Like, if anything ever came over there, the cops was gonna be on their behind. They knew that, so they didn't even come across the street. But just the fact that that was in that close of a proximity, I'm just giving y'all a little history that when I want to criticize what I got to say today about hood antics and hood stuff that got to go, and how there's all this major healing that needs to be done. I'm not speaking from a complete outsider point of view, somebody who's just always had it cushy and everything's so privileged. Yes, I live a great life. I'm far from rich, far from privileged economically, but I'm damn sure privileged intellectually. I'm damn sure privileged respectfully. Like I said, lead with respect. I got a lot of friends in a lot of places, from all high, low, in between, whatever you want to call it. And they all respect and love me. So when I speak on mine, you know, because I know how this internet is. Yeah, a lot of people out here got no validation. They just got a look and an attitude, and they want to speak on things, but they don't really deal with what that is. They play with it. It's just a topic for clicks. It's like, yo, if I talk about hood stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get them numbers, man. I'm gonna get them numbers if I act like I'm hood, and if I know about this, and, you know, always bringing up certain keywords, and then gang, 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 and slang, 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 and bang, 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 and dope, dope, dope. And, you know, if people act like that, if they talking ratchet, 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 all, you know, they know they're gonna get clicks. They know they're gonna get numbers. They know that all that stuff has become trending. Other people's disparity and oppression has become trending, monetized topics. Monetized topics of oppression. Let's start a new phrase for this. Remember where it came from. Monetized topics of oppression. MTOs, since people love acronyms. I just made up one. Go with it, because I know it's on point. These are monetized topics of oppression, people. But the sad thing about these MTOs is they hardly ever benefit or benefit enough. See how I'm wording this? Because people getting their little feelings. Enough of the actual people who are oppressed. It's rare. Because during this concert, hold tight, I gotta handle some business, hold on. Because in this concert, right, like I said, you know, we handle, if you're not, like I said, if you're new to the channel, the way we do it here, a lot of times when I go live, I do it while I'm working. We ain't hiding the reality of what it is to live the real art life. You know, artists like myself, we had to wear all these other hats to survive, and I do courier work on the side. So yeah, I'm waiting on an order. So it's not that channel where somebody's, you know, trying to hide the fact that they have a humble everyday life reality and try to act like they some baller and shot caller, and like I said, all these fake realities so that people can play with MTO energy and just, you know, monetize topics of oppression. Like, you know, you want to talk about being from a state of having to deal with struggle, but you ain't never showing people the reality that you ain't got to be po-po to be in the damn struggle. You ain't got to be stupid, ignorant, and uneducated to be in the struggle. Struggle is a result of many factors. So anyway, hit that monetization button right now. Get that subscribe going, so I can get out the car and get completely focused on all that other great content you see here when I am traveling, when I am interviewing luminaries from the film business, comic books, reviews, films. I go to set, I'm in front of the camera, behind the camera, all around the camera, Hollywood and independent. All the receipts are right here. Where the receipt? You're looking at them. You're looking at them. Go look at the channel. Say that for my young, goofy audience that literally don't read and watch nothing. They float by, they troll by, and they don't look at that, and they don't understand the time they're wasting is so precious. Like what I was gonna say about this concert, what bothered me was, like I say, I want to say again before I say this, because I know what it is, man. As soon as you criticize, hate. No. Criticizing something does not mean hate. It's the problem with this young generation. Y'all didn't even invent the damn term. The shit came up before most of y'all was born. If you 20-something, folks started saying hate before you were born. And when they started saying it, we said it was stupid back then. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then it just took off, and then those who wanted to keep saying it kept saying it. So it was a split. There's always been a split between sides of mind state. It's always those who wasn't with the dumb shit, like those of us who never sagged our pants like me. What the hell is that sagging? What is he doing? Yeah, I get baggy. I like baggy style. I did that. I still don't wear no damn, I got some real muscles in my legs. So I ain't wearing no damn skinny jeans. I'll bust some skinny jeans open like the Hulk. Them shits will explode on my legs. I ain't wearing no damn skinny jeans. I might wear some fitted. Enough for it to get a certain look, but I ain't, grown ass man up in here. You understand? So like, you know, there's always been a middle of the road. There's always been an opposition to some one way of thinking, and we all did. That's why I ain't talking about for the code. Which one? Your personality or mine? Who you talking about? So this concert, they had the whole stage was full. Looked like Wu-Tang was up that mug. All the TD is in effect. So let's get to it, y'all. I was talking about this concert and TDE's pop-out concert. And I'm watching it. And I pretty much could see most of the acts. SZA came out first from the one I saw. They had Absol came out, Kendrick came out, which of course was the highlight. Everybody want to see Kendrick. This is hometown, you know what I'm saying? And he's a legend. And he had already been to Nickerson Gardens for when he did They Not Like Us video. That was one of the locations they shot in for the famous scene with the big mob crowd of all the hood. And there was nothing but people from LA, blacks and Latinos who actually live in these hoods, you know what I'm saying, out there for that particular shoot. And it was a great nostalgic moment in the video, you know. And a lot of those same people were on stage with him when he did the big concert at the big hall. And of course, when he performed, They Not Like Us like 5 or 6 times or whatever. So all of that is great. And of course, he had, you know, active gang members from various sets, OGs, whatever, out there on the stage. And everybody talks about this was like literally this beef track, this this viral beef track has literally reunited in some places, parts of LA, and the West Coast as a whole, and everybody's all excited about all that. So all of that positive energy I love. I want to make sure you understand. Don't get me wrong when I know that places like that and environments like that, people have been through so much and life is so hard that just a little bit of joy and happiness goes a long way. And for the audience intended, words can't express how, you know, good that is to them when they're actually from those environments where, you know, everything is crazy and everything is rough and tough and all that. But the part that bothers me from having worked in those environments, from having helped shape some kids that would have been hopeless into productive young men and women, okay? As they say, I got the receipts, you know. I've done that, okay? And ONYXCON, when we were doing the live event, and even now that we're just online, anybody who's within scope of my words can hear me. I know every time I push that button and go live, anybody in the world, I see the statistics, I see the numbers, I know how many countries are watching me. It's not just people in America. It's people in Russia, Ukraine, India, South Africa, Kenya, Malaysia, Indonesia. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but my point, you know, República Dominicana, you know, every place I've been, definitely Mexico, okay, and places I will go, can see me speaking, and I'm always conscious of that because I know that whatever I put out here is a reflection of first importantly, myself, because I have respect for myself, so I'm gonna make sure whatever I say, I will stand on, 10 toes down, and all the other phrases. I know who the hell I am, and I know what I want people to see me as, no matter what. Historically, no matter what I had to say, no matter how mad I was, fired up, and whatever, venting, I know I gotta make sure whatever I go public, hey man, the whole world gonna see this. And everybody does not understand each other's cultures, even when people are into something. Just because somebody likes hip-hop music, rap, if you will, not all rap is the same. Not all rap is from the hood. Even rap that's from the hood has all kind of nuances and messages and symbolisms and language and cultural codes that only, quite frankly, only people actually from there will ever understand. But profanity at large, cussing, and the predominant use of the N-word, especially the way it's used in LA. Oh my gosh. All my friends from LA, I tell you, I got a homeboy, when I met him, he got better. He doesn't do it like he used to, but when I first met him, when I tell you he was the epitome of what a lot of folk from the hood in LA, and he was from the hood, you know, will talk like they have a way of speaking where it's almost like they use N-words like a punctuation. Like there's a comma goes there, exclamation mark, question mark, period, another comma, semicolon, colon, punctuation mark. And it's like every single place you would put that informal diction, it's gonna be an N. It's N this, N that, near. And it's like, and to them it's normal if they're from those environments. If to them it's just the way we talk. Now, me being from Atlanta and having went to school with kids from those environments, the Atlanta version of that, and kids who came up like I did, 2-parent household, both parents educated type situation, that kind of positive, good energy and everything, disciplined to a certain way, refined, making sure that you're growing a young boy into a gentleman and all that, and instead of a just ruggish, thuggish, whatever. I went to a school with a mix of that. All my grade school years was a mix of both. It was a clash of hood, in between, kind of hood, not hood at all, bougie, if you will, whatever, bougetto. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Folk who was hood, who got a little money and started living good in the area, but they still ghetto in their mind. It's dealt with all of it. knew it all, know it all, still learning it, but it's because it's changing, it's evolving with new generations. But I know the basics of how all of this will always be, because there's the thing called human nature, and particularly black cultures, American black cultures, and how it is with hood cultures anywhere. So I've been in environments where people talk so crazy around their kids, they don't care if they cussing and carrying on. And what I noticed during this concert was they had their kids up on stage with them. I'm talking about, it was a mob of kids. Like when Kendrick performed, they all came out around him, and he was loving it. You know, he had his kids up there, obviously, with some of his kids, but also the other kids was kids of the other artists, kids from the neighborhood, people who know somebody in the industry, probably just the kids of everybody who's part of TDE, right? But, so yeah, they know their parents are stars and they do this kind of music and whatever, and then they from these environments before the fame and even after the fame. So I'm not saying that they would not be used to hearing it, knowing it, whatever it, but it's still, to me, this is the difference, the way I was raised, right? My father cusses, my mother will cuss. My mother's not a cusser. She will cuss. If my mom started cussing, you know you done messed up, okay? My dad will cuss just for fun, but he don't have to. He's an intellectual. He's got more words in his vocabulary easily. He'll run circles around you. He's a Morehouse man, okay? A graduate of Morehouse College, all right? My mom, graduate of CAU and all that. So I'm saying I come from that kind of, myself, BFA, Pratt Institute first, Atlanta College of Art, BFA degree. So I'm coming from something. I'm not coming from, you know, dropped out, still made it good, whatever, all that. You know, yeah, respect. Good. Most can't. You did. Good for you. But my problem is, one thing I know that is beneficial of the kind of respect I was raised to have and the order of things I was raised around. When grown folk in the room, when I was a kid and you went to a grown folks party, but they had kids too, the kids had the basement or a certain room in the house if it didn't have a basement, and we was over there and we was doing our kid stuff. It was the playroom. As long as we wasn't too loud, nobody was pushing and shoving and arguing or anything. Nobody was tearing up nothing, even though that still happens sometimes because kids being stupid kids. You know, we had our fun, man. We had our fun. And the grown folks was in their room, right? And they in there drinking and playing cards and talking shit, okay? They cussing, they loud, they laughing hard. And if you came in that room while they were doing it, they didn't necessarily stop abrasively if you were just in and out. Now, if you hung around because you trying to ask your parents something, or you know, whatever it was, you know, little girl go in whining to daddy or mama, I did this and I want this, and she trying to console them, and everybody would say, oh, and pinch your cheeks and walk you on up out of there. But they trying to get you up out of there and get back to their grown time, because they're not gonna talk. They may still be saying a little bit of something, but they're gonna hush it a little bit, man. The kids in here, man, they don't be saying all that stuff, right? Even with the drink in their hand, even with the drink in their body, it's like, yeah, the kids in here, man. Hold that down a little bit, you know what I mean? Hold it all the way down. In some cases, there would be a complete, you walk in and everybody would just get quiet. You become the immediate what you need, what you want. Because you in the grown folk, you need something? Because if you don't need nothing, you need to go up out of here. We in here talking grown stuff. And as soon as you left, you heard, oh, motherfucker, please, I don't give a shit. It would, you know, but it was understood. It was they stuff. And if you grew up in a culture of any of that, it wasn't weird, it wasn't strange, but you also knew there was boundaries. And you respected the boundaries, okay? What I notice about this young generation now raising their kids and stuff, I'm not saying anybody's a bad parent. I'm not saying, I'm not even going, I'm just speaking of what I noticed and what I personally feel was very inappropriate for what I know is in this music and what it's talking about. Like I said, I ain't gotta be from Watts, Compton, or anywhere. Hood is different because of codes and mannerisms and cultural things, whatever. Like I said, for the cultures is plural. But one thing about it, the word culture is still in it. And there is a unified something about just ghetto shit, okay? And I'm saying a lot of folk just it don't even cross their mind And the kids, it's like not even strange to them. They up on stage, you can see them wording the words of the lyrics with their parents or their cousin or uncle so-and-so or whoever these people are to them in the biz, right? And then you look in the audience, you got white mostly, Latino, but probably a lot of the kind of Latinos consider themselves white Latinos. They don't consider themselves Afro Latinos. No black, right? Not saying they weren't there, but I know what I'm looking at. I know enough about LA to know what I was looking at. And I'm not saying everybody in the audience is from LA. People come from all over the world to see a Kendrick concert just to see him. You know, he's that level of fame right now. Again, that's why it's very important to know your power. Respect, power, money. Respect always first. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you are at this point in your career. You're not just the boy from the block. You never will be again. You always will be to yourself and to your friends, but to the world, you're a phenomenon, man. And that's a lot of weight, but it's something to consider every time you open your mouth and everything you do and everything that people in your circle do. It's just the way I personally see it. We ain't got to agree because this is about respect. So if you're still listening, appreciate it. With this concert, as I was watching it, is everything was uncensored. Everybody was doing the uncensored version. And here's the thing. I've seen Kendrick that performance, and to my understanding, I think he's only been on there once. He'll probably be on there again real soon, thanks to GM. One back. They already done sent that offer. I'm sure they're just trying to figure it out on the schedule. But anyway, he did. He was performing about, the usual Saturday Night Live style where you do about 2 to 3 songs, whatever, however you mix them together. But I noticed he omitted the N word. And he didn't, because it's still, network television, he didn't cuss for real. He said certain words, but it's been this way for years and I've always had a problem with this. How the hell is it that people can say any cuss word? They can't say any cuss word, should I say, on radio, live radio, public radio, not Sirius FM radio. I'm talking about public radio. I'm talking about everyday radio that everybody can get if you can get a frequency. You can't say them cuss words. You can't say damn. You can't shit. You can't. But you can say the N word left, right, anyway, up and down, all around. Now there still may be a limit on how many times you can say it, but the fact that you can even say it. The black folk version of it with the ending with an A or the ER, you can say it. I got a problem with that. I got a real problem with that. Because see, because if you were to use some other words that might go with other people's racial slurs and so-called terms of endearment, like I say, ain't none of these damn things endearing. Ain't nothing endearing. People say it with a smile, but mean malice towards each other. What's throughout all of Kendrick's music when he talk about his depression with his own folk? He's frustrated that folk don't really have love. He's like, what's the first? Listen to the first song on GNX, the very first song. The hood don't love you. They don't love you. The streets don't love you. You think it's just a lyric? You think he just be? No, man, he's speaking about his pain. He's talking about stuff he go through. He's talking about having a smile on your face, dealing with a room full of people. Some of them might like you, probably don't like you. The ones who love you are so few you can count them on one hand and you wouldn't finish 5 fingers. That's what he's talking about. And on that stage when he was performing, I'm just sitting up here thinking, man, okay, so the kids chanting along with everything. It's a horde of adults. The stage is overcrowded. It can only hold but so many people, but everybody want to be seen on the stage. Everybody want to floss. Everybody want to be in the moment of glory. Yeah. But it was a real interesting moment, and I was just like, okay, when's this moment? Here, there it is. I knew it was gonna come. I knew something like this was gonna come. Don't want it to, but I know the math of what I'm looking at. It's gonna happen. So at one point, after one of the main songs got done, somebody, whoever was the stage manager, says, hey, I need everybody off to back up. I need just too many people on the stage. Mind you, he's talking to adults and children of adults. And at one point they had to have security out there holding people back. I've seen them with the spread arms, holding people back on the stage to keep it clear for the artist to walk back and forth and do the song or whatever. But why is that just not automatically respect? And you're supposed, if you're on the stage, you're obviously connected to TDE. You obviously got your pass. You VIP, you somebody. But why, in the midst of it's all about me, my ego, I got to be on this stage. I want to be seen on camera when everybody see back. I got to be here. Why can't anybody be like, look, man, you don't even need to be up here right now? And the guy had to damn near beg people to get behind the DJ because of a safety concern of however they had it structured on the stage. Like, we need people. And it literally took minutes for people to fucking do it. And then, to be honestly, I never saw it change enough for that to really happen. I guess they got it within a range of what they could do and they kept on going. But I never saw a huge enough difference for it to be like somebody really respected what this man was saying, and then the concert continued. So I'm saying, this is what I'm saying about respect, y'all. This is in the moment, in front of the world. The whole world gonna see this, and y'all can't get enough. And first of all, why are your kids there in the first place? Why are there children on the damn stage at a concert where y'all cussing and saying everything? I mean, even if y'all let them hear all that at home, why would you want the world to see you in that light? Because you don't even see anything wrong with it. Like I say, you have no personal respect. You have no, and then it's like all this divisive at each other all the time. It shows up even when you're supposed to be a unit. You're at your event, and this man is having to tell people to back up behind it. Why he gotta beg people to back up if y'all supposed to be one? Why is that a thing? Why is that? What's the problem? Why we gotta even have this conversation? That bothered me, but it said a lot. Says a lot about the mentality, man. Says a lot. The pain you hear in the music, it's like it's reflected in real life dysfunctional behavior. People who really ain't coming from a lot of respect in their environment, a lot of respect in how they were raised, a lot of respect in how they treat each other as grown-ass people, a lot of respect in how they understand, look, man, kids don't even need to be here right now. This is not, I mean, you could be an adult and do something that is for adults and not involve your children. Like, yo, some jobs you can't, like they have parent-teacher days at school or something, like, the woman who's a stripper, you can't go to school and tell the kids about your job with pride. But nowadays, that would probably happen at some schools. They might even break out a poll and have you show them how you do it. I don't know. See, there's an art to everything. I'm not even talking about that in and of itself, like it's innately wrong or anything. See, people, they hear you criticizing the first, oh, what you mean? It'd be some stripper in my comments, man. I ain't got no problem with what they feel want to do, and I actually see, I go to, I'm not against that. That's not even the point. There's an art to that. Oh, there's an art. That's why some who even strip professionally take classes, teach classes in that. It's an art form. I respect that. But it came from something that's for adults to enjoy, period. It's not for kids. Shout out to, I'm gonna give another example. Shout out to Richie Mack, Zoom to Thailand. I subscribed to his channel, been a subscriber for years, but he recently had his thing called Zoom Fest, where basically all his top subscribers who are willing to travel out to Thailand and like, I think a whole week of activities and stuff. They do a boat ride, they go to all the local clubs, they go and go. He likes to golf. They do a golf tournament thing. He does a lot of stuff. He has a lot of fun with it, and I like that he's turned it into a respectful, organized, adult, grown-ass business for men, especially who want to escape the confines and the simplicities of everyday American struggles and go see what the world has to offer, particularly in Thailand. Okay, and as a travel vlogger myself here for ONYXCON, I want to do something like that in the future. Another reason to hit that button and subscribe right now if you'd like to be a part of that. I want to have an ONYXCON. We have what we call ONYXCON Travel Club, but I want to make it something where like we actually plan dates, we meet up in places, we actually enjoy the place, we do activities, all that, a real, thing annually. Matter of fact, I want to make 2025 the first year we actually do it, right? But so anyway, he was in one of the venues they have. Again, his thing, when you look at Richie Mack's channel, like I say, I love his channel and I love what he's doing. We look at Zoom to Thailand and he's doing this. He know his audience. He ain't doing this for no kids, right? And And he got, he got kids and stuff. Respectable parent. He understands there's a line to be drawn. Yo, I'm grown. I'm doing my thing. It's grown time. So he was doing something where he was on one, I forget the popular street in Thailand, but it's whatever that main strip is where all of the girls who are obviously working girls hang out in front of the bars, try to get guys to come in, buy them a drink and whatever else. It's a pay for play type environment, right? Very grown for whoever wants to participate environment. Whether folks want to just get a drink and go home or take somebody with them, whatever the case may be, that's a very grown environment, right? And there was some little kids that at one point, because he's doing a live video, at one point there was some little kids that came up outside. He's inside the bar, but he noticed them. He said, what the hell are them kids doing out there? You can hear him saying this on camera. And I was so proud that he acknowledged that and said something about it. He told the bartender, and he said, yo, can you get them kids out of here? Like, first of all, like translation, I don't want nobody to think I'm on that BS, because I'm not. I was like, respect. Ain't nobody up in here playing with, this is an adult environment. Shouldn't even be no kids here any damn way. So can somebody please tell them, the lady, whoever, I don't know whose kids those are, if the kids even know somebody here. It may be one of the women's, that's out there, that's the mom, and they ain't got no babysitters, or the kids coming up and hanging out with them while they trying to work or whatever. Like, no. That is so inappropriate. He was like, could you please have them go home somehow? Wait. And he, from him being the person who was holding that particular party that night at that particular place and paying for all the drinks and paying for all the festivities, they understand the money. They was like, okay, they cleared them out ASAP. Like, yo, gotta go. You're not gonna make us look like that. I guess is uncomfortable with this, and it's like, damn right. We're like, why wouldn't you be? Is kind of what he was, kind of his energy. And I'm like, thank you, Richie, man. Thank you, Richie, man. Like, we need more men like this nowadays, man. Understand, like, look, do whatever you want to do with your grown stuff. Men and women that understand, look, there's a line, y'all. There's a line, and this is what I'm saying. And then you wonder why you got your kids out there rapping along back to the concert, and I'm looking at them mouthing the lyrics, and they ain't missing not one word of all the worst stuff to be said. And I'm just like, so then why when something happens, when these kids turn into little hellions later, when they get of age and they 10 times crazier than their parents at their worst, because their parents took their oppression and turned it into art and made money and traveled all over the world and everything, but maybe they got a control of their drug habits, maybe they got a control, and I'm speaking on some real stuff when I say that, because Ab-Soul himself says on his new album, he's like, damn right, I'm a drug addict or something. He says, like, he doesn't have an issue with substance abuse, okay? So he ain't hiding his drama. He's saying it all out in the music, right? But he's a prolific lyricist. The way the boy flow is off the chain. Ab can, man, he like Kendrick with it. He just natural, just good. It's that, yo, I'm a drummer too, so I understand the cadence of the voice, and that's exactly what you're hearing when you get hypnotized by the. That is the drum. 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 You can't escape Africa ever in black music. But my problem is when it's been twisted because of all the pain that black folk have been through in certain segments of our experience, and it's like there's no boundaries. It's just everything's cool. Say anything, do anything around anybody, and on top of all of it, it's like you got your weird parental situation going on stage in front of the world, but also in front of an audience of mostly privileged white and Latinos and Asians that, yo, they just go home, write a review for their thesis, get hired at a university, do a book about you, whatever. When you go broke because of your drug habits, if that comes back to haunt you, when you get shot because you keep pushing the beef and all this in your lyrics, and everybody else that ain't respecting it as just being art wants to get high-headed and really make it a gangbang thing instead of just gangbang lyrics, these people just make a life off of it. They the folks I see, you know, their kids grow up to be the ones, they gonna go, like I say, they in college, these mostly a college crowd. I know what I was looking at. They gonna write a thesis on it and get paid on it forever. Your ass might live to be fucking 70. Lucky if you make it to 50. I'm sick of it, man. I'm just sick of it. It turns my heart and my stomach to know that people are not, sadly enough, it's like what I'm talking about. You got to start with, like I say, you got to start with respect. So the only way to do that is you got to, first of all, see the light in what a person like me is saying. I'm not saying I'm here to do it. Maybe what I'm saying can help. That's why I say what I say. That's why I do these lives like this. That's why I do these vents. But I've done my work in the hood, so to speak, and I'm exhausted, and I realize that takes a lot of psychological training to really do that and do it the best way possible. And I haven't been trained in that. I got damn good at it enough to survive and do whatever I had to do. And hey, people loved me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Wherever I went. But I didn't have to, and I know enough about cultural things that I can relate first, build rapport, then drop the kind of shit I'm saying up in here. And they hear me out because they already know I understand them. First, you gotta show people you understand them for them to listen to you. But I'm saying it needs to be other people who they're dedicated to that, not to a life of artistic expression and exploration and adventure like me. I can be a piece of the puzzle, but the real folk who need to do the work need to come on and save these folk quick. And I feel like rappers like Kendrick need to just keep distancing themselves from everybody that they have survivor's remorse. He keeps coming back because he knows he's being pulled away from the hood, man. You that kind of famous now. You world famous. It's way deeper than your hood, but your music is still about your hood for the most part. So that's what makes it weird, because it's like, I watched not even a week ago another video in Nickerson Gardens, because, the algorithm want to show you everything related to something else you just saw. And I guess I had watched too much stuff about Kendrick. So it was like, you want to know something else about Kendrick? Or his neighborhoods, or neighborhoods he knows? Well, how about this? And it was like one of these hood vlogs where somebody goes and interviews actual gang members in areas that are so dangerous. And they were in Nickerson Gardens talking to a blood gang. And I was like, this is the most depressing, I'm going to be real, pointless, going nowhere, waiting for death type of situation I've seen in a minute. And it ain't new to me. I've seen it firsthand, but I'm saying to be reminded of how depressing that kind of energy can be, and it's live and direct, it ain't orchestrated, it's just them being them. And I was like, man, this is sad, man. This is sad, because like with all of them, they got a new community center being built, and they're trying to turn it into something. They're gonna name it after Kendrick. I saw that this cat who's like an OG out there who is front running that, or one of the people involved in trying to get that established. They've revitalized it, and they're gonna have a new one built and all this kind of thing. No, I'm sorry, that's in Compton. That's not in Watts. That's in Compton. But they already have something at Nickerson that's like this really nice gym for basketball. But what kills me is, like, I'm looking at the gym and I'm like, the gym is state of the art, but the apartments where the people actually live still look like shit. Are you serious right now? Like, do you hear me, people? Somebody hear me. Let me get some likes for those who understand what the hell I just said. You're gonna bring in some money from some folk who want to, so, we care about. No, you don't. You want to keep it downtrodden, because there's some certain segment of society that thinks you oppress oppressed people, and they become, it's like you create diamonds, it's like you put the pressure on the coal until it turns into a diamond. So the black coal will turn into the diamond, and we can make diamonds off of them. We can make money off of these poor black souls that survive no matter what. Not all of them are gonna make it, but we done got this percentage thing down to a T, where we know between the NBA and the NFL and everything else, if we give them nice sports facilities to work out at and train at, they'll become phenomenal athletes, because they'll at least have a nice place to do that one thing we want out of them, because we don't care about what they listen to. We don't know how they talk to each other. We don't care how they train their kids, how they raise their kids. We don't care if everybody's cussing and acting crazy. We only care about that when it gets them in trouble with the law, and it fucks with the money, because they're in jail when they should have been at the game because they got a drug habit, or they got depressed, or they got all these other problems that come with where they come from. We ain't got no problem with your ass being exploited in the sports and in entertainment, but just keep your habits, just somehow be a functioning depressed addict of whatever you're addicted to. The crime life, the drugs, all of it once, the sex, whatever it is that's got you twisted. Do all of that. Just don't rise too high to where we can't pull you down when we need to pull you back down. But we don't care if you still living in a rat roach infested looking ass property. You can't tell me from the way them, all you gotta do is put in Nickerson Gardens and you'll see what I'm talking about. Put in Nickerson Gardens, gang, that's all you gotta put in, word gang, and it's probably gonna be 5 or 6 videos, and you'll eventually see the one I'm talking about. All of them gonna be the same kind of vibe of depression, but the one I'm talking about is gonna show you this gym that literally is like, obviously like I know what money is. That's like a $5 million gym. It's got murals on the wall, beautiful artwork. Kobe mural and some other folks. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But right outside, I'm like, This is looking still. Why didn't those apartments and the people, there should not be a gang. If you got a damn gym like that, we don't call it a gang no more. What are y'all? We're community leadership organization. Period. Period. Do away with all the color barriers and all of the codes. And look, man, seriously. Like, I heard Killer Mike refer to gangs in Atlanta. He was talking on an episode of this show he did on Netflix, if you haven't seen it. And he was talking about, he interviewed some local Atlanta gang member stuff, and they were Crips and Bloods supposed to be. And he telling them, and he said, I don't call them gangs, I call them street fraternities and street fraternal organizations, street sororities. I was like, okay, all right, great. Well, if that be the case, just like real fraternities and sororities, some of them can, and depending on the campus, can act like gangs amongst each other. Oh, I ain't making this up. And that don't matter if you're on black campus, white campus, it don't matter. They fight each other. They have all kind of issues with each other. They have rivalries. And then some of them are decent with each other, respect each other, toy with each other in rivalry, but don't ever get to blows. But then they beat the snot out of each other, get kicked off of campus from over whipping each other for the orientation, for the whole, you got to go through initiation, BS, you know, beating folk to the point where they didn't put folk in the hospital. Some of them almost got kicked. Some of them have been kicked off campuses, that kind of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Why does that happen? How does that happen? Because as time goes on, this has always been a thing, but you're getting more and more kids from straight up hoods like this who already come from the kind of violence like that. Well, that's not big. You're just translating the violence into another thing, and it's not hard for them to beat the snot out of each other and think nothing of it. They just think, yo, you just ain't tough enough to be a part of this if you died or if you got hurt. Everybody go through it. We're supposed to go through it, right? No, it's broken. It's all broken. It's all twisted. All that got to go. You can't run organized organizations. You can't have a concert where somebody gets on stage and says, okay, for the next act, I need everybody to back up. And people standing around, he ain't talking to me. He ain't talking to you. You know, he ain't talking to me. Yeah. He's yelling on the mic at all of you motherfuckers, and ain't none of y'all moving. How is that not? How do you even justify this and call this organized or call this organized? It's a real bad look for something as powerful as you are on record. You got articles in GQ. You got articles in the Times, every Times. You got all these people talking about you in review. Like I said, they're making money off of you. The next generation of who will make money off of that is in the audience. The rich college kid. They're going to be all right no matter what. The liberal kid, and not all of them are bad. I'm not even saying they're all bad, but I will say this about them too. I found it really disturbing, and I forever find it disturbing. How the hell y'all in the audience, and every time they get to the N-word, don't nobody get quiet no more, they singing right along, and then it's like they're promoting it. Like, I was like, wow, this is all bad. This is ass stank backwards. And I'm sorry, yeah, maybe anybody want to just, every time somebody want to criticize something that's being done by young folk, everybody want to say, oh, he just old. Look, fool, I had to get old. I was young once. And I know stupid when I see it, and I know where it's going. It don't amount to nothing. We are not a post-racial society. Race is a construct anyway, but it's not a game. The word needs to be destroyed anyway, but that's for black folk to do amongst each other, and then everybody else to just want to say it for what? You didn't come up in no culture where that was normal for you or something where you understand even the way we do it, and you never will. Ever. It's impossible. Unless you are. You cannot. It ain't never going, I don't care how you, man, I studied how so-and-so said it. You could be a ventriloquist all day. Man, he almost sounds just like Kendrick when he says it. Who cares? You're not. Respect, true power, then better money. Enough said, I'm out.